Good morning, Zombag.
Good morning, Zolpak, and welcome to our latest episode of GMZ.
Welcome to another episode of the UK's number one zombie podcast. The UK's number one zombie podcast. I'm saying that over and over again.
Yes, the UK's number one that has put out an episode consistently every 2 weeks. Not like a year ago, not 4 years ago. I don't care what some list says or says. At least we're putting out podcasts frequently.
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome, you wonderful people. It's been a week since our, I'd say, rather enlightening interview with the incredible Cameron Romero, and it was a pretty good interview. I really enjoyed myself.
It really was. Actually, I've had some great feedback this week. I had a guy approach me this week who someone I know. It's a friend, but is not like someone who's into zombies or into the podcast. And I didn't even know they was aware of the podcast. And someone approached me this week and said, "Hey, I listened to your podcast with Cameron Romero. I really enjoyed it. What a great guy. What a great interview." There you go.
And you were like, "Whoa."
I was like, "Whoa!"
You know, I do a podcast.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. It was great. He was a lovely guy. I really enjoyed it.
He really was. I mean, if you didn't manage to catch it, please go and have a listen. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself.
Ooh, she really enjoyed herself.
Ooh, I really enjoyed myself.
A bit too much. So what are we up to this week, Bex? What are we doing this week on the podcast?
So, as always, we have another incredible interview. I mean, maybe not as incredible as last week, but it's going to be still pretty incredible.
Ooh, who might it be this week? Who might the interview be with?
Well, this week I shall tell you who the interview is with. It's with Devon C Ford, who is the dystopian author of the After It Happened series.
Oh, I know Devon C Ford because we did stuff together, didn't we, for our charity anthology? Yeah, he's the guy who did done the After It Happened series, which was really successful. Sort of end of the world, but no zombies, and then. I kind of didn't know him, but I kind of got in touch with him via Facebook and stuff, and I said, "Look, we're doing this zombie thing. I know you don't do zombies." He said, "Yeah, I'll do zombies for the charity." So that was cool.
And now he's actually writing his own zombie series.
Yeah, so let's give him a ring.
Let's chat to him about it.
Hi, Devon. Thanks for coming on. First things first, before we get started with the interview, I just want to make an apology for Bex, who isn't here. She's obviously been contracted the zombie, so she's not here. So it's just me. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate you coming.
That's my pleasure.
So some of our listeners will know who you are, but most of them won't know who you are, and that's because you haven't done much in the way of zombie series, where most of our people, who we interview, they're normally quite famous for their zombie series, but you're famous for a different reason. You've done other series. So can you tell our listeners, before we get into what you're doing now, can you tell a little bit about what you've done in the past and how you've ended up here?
Yeah, like I say, this is my first real foray into zombies. I've done a short. I'm sure your diehards will know as a short for Treasured Chests.
Yeah.
That story actually was the bones of my first idea for a zombie story, but it kind of stalled at the kind of level of a short story. So I rejigged it for that. Stepped away. Those who do know me will know me either for post-apocalyptic fiction, or I've got a pandemic series which has done quite well. It's on Audible. I've just released one, a World War III start. I've done futuristic dystopian. I've got a sci-fi post-apoc coming out very soon. But one that comes out, Toy Soldiers, comes out. What day are we? Saturday.
Yeah.
That is my first real stick into the Z world.
Yeah, I mean. I like sci-fi, by the way. So when our authors start talking about sci-fi, I get excited. And what's the sci-fi one about?
The sci-fi one, that is called New Earth Ark. And ARK stands for, dead giveaway for the story, the Automated Research and Repopulation Cryostation.
Right.
I'll give it to you in a few words. It is the 100 meets Armageddon meets me. Actually, most of the first book is set with it's coming in 10 years, but it's the question of, if you knew and you couldn't tell everyone, would you tell everyone? So yeah, I'll leave that one there.
Yeah, I think that's all you need to say, because that's the tagline, isn't it? If you knew, would you tell anyone? Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, well, the other tagline is, if we could save the human race, should we?
Yeah, that's a good question, and that's obviously, that's a big question to pose in a novel, isn't it? I mean, that's the crux of the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're only gonna make the same mistakes and kind of ruin it 1,000 years down the line anyway. So, yeah.
Well, that is true. Yeah. Your success as an indie author is a little bit unorthodox compared to most people we have on our podcast.
I would say that.
Yeah, I mean, generally, let me just tell you what the normal story is with authors who they come on. The normal story is they've had a career, doing whatever it was, bringing up a family or whatever, and had a career. They got to a certain age and go, do you know what? I've always wanted to write a book. So they wrote a book, they self-published, no one bought it. So they wrote another one, they self-published, a couple of people bought it, and so on until they got a readership. Yours was a little bit different.
It was exactly the same right up until the point where, I had a career. I was, at the time I first published, which was 23 months ago. So it's, start of April would be 2 years since I first published.
Really?
I was a police officer. I was trudging the endless cycle. Mm-hmm. And I wrote, 3 books, and I published it. And I had, to be honest, really low expectations of what was going to happen. And I checked on my self-publishing dashboard, and I saw there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies. I looked the next day, there was 580 copies. I looked the next day, there was 12,000 copies.
Wow.
And then I wrote the 4th book, put it out, and there were 3,000 pre-orders. And I had, by the time I released the 4th book, I had all 4 in the top 10 in the US and UK. I had number ones on 2 of them. And it completely blew my mind.
Wow, I'm gobsmacked for you. That's incredible. I never realised the figures. I've read your blog and stuff, but that's amazing.
It's when you add in, it's a difficult one to gauge. Total sales they're not really that relevant anymore, because a lot of people go through KU, so pages read. So if you add up your pages read, etc., just that first series alone is close to 1 million books.
That's
which is
mind-boggling.
It is completely, blew me away.
I mean, all right, okay, so I don't want to blow smoke up your bottom here and say, it's because you're a genius. But, are there any other factors involved other than the book is good? I mean, I know the book is good because I've read it, but are there other factors involved other than that? Marketing, was there certain tools and skills that you applied?
There is. We're going to have to disagree, because I've gone back and read the first book, and I don't want to beat myself over the head with it, because the difference between, it's like doing anything. If you go and play sports and you play this game exactly the same way as you played the last game, you don't try and get better. Sure. What's the point in doing it? So the books I'm writing now are a world apart to what I started writing. I imagine myself like as the gift with the monkey banging away on the typewriter.
Yeah.
6 fingers and my tongue out. So it's very different, the concepts. My editor is a teacher. She's a very stern teacher. She's a lady from the north who does not take shit.
Yep.
And you cannot blag her. So she, every day is a school day. But back in the days when there was a cane. But marketing-wise, there are things I've tried that work. There are things I've tried that don't work. And there are some very simple rules to dominating the Kindle marketplace, which I'm not going to share.
I knew you was avoiding that. I'm going to talk about editing a little bit, because I'm not a fan. When I write, I hate the editing. I love the creative side, but I don't like the work. I've got to be honest. How do you get on with your editor? I mean, how hard is she on you? Do you take the criticism well or not?
I've used 4 editors. Yep. I use one through my own, and I use one through Volpine, because I've got some books traditionally published and some indie.
Sure.
And it depends on whether you strike up the right balance with the editor, whether you trust their abilities, trust how they work. And it also, if you're the kind of person that doesn't want to work with an editor, you're never going to work with an editor. So you've got to strike up a balance. It's the same as working with anyone. There are people you do and don't get on with. People you are slightly scared of. And it's finding that right balance. But you've got to be open-minded, because the one thing that I don't think anyone can accurately do is find a mistake in their own work. I can look at books that I put into print, swear blind that the paragraph is perfectly fine, and someone go, well, that word doesn't make any sense. And I'm reading it because I know what it says. It's not what it says, but I know what it's supposed to say. So you cannot check your own work. I barely even try. I go through read-throughs. I've got a great bunch of betas, and through my fan page, sounds cocky, I've got my main page on Facebook.
My fan club.
I think they're called I did a Q&A the other day. They're called the groupies. I'm not going to call them the groupies.
No.
But I've got some fans who will drop what they're doing and read anything I've got, which is really helpful, especially if they've got a real curse of honesty. And you've got to know, you've got to be open to it, that you've got to be able to accept A, a 1-star review, and B, someone taking your raw work and saying, it's wrong, it doesn't work, it's inaccurate. The only thing I would give to any advice I give to any writers, unless it's your subject matter that you're an expert on, find someone who is. Toy Soldiers, it is set in 1989. I wasn't that old in 1989, believe it or not. And I certainly wasn't driving tanks.
No.
Bit of a spoiler there. But a friend of mine was. So I took him to the Tank Museum last weekend, and he took a big deep breath and just rattled off everything about everything. I'm sat there just whacking away with notes and pictures, and I've got it right in my head. Although it's not my experience, you've got to tap into someone's experience to make it real. And writers start writing about what they know already, and they put tweaks on it. Fiction is basically a lie, and the best lies are based on truth. So you've got to take what you know, tweak it, hone it, enhance it to make it a story, and make people believe it. And that's the thing, you've got to make people believe it. So your characters have got to have realisms, they've got to have idiosyncrasies that will make people chuckle or tut, or you've got to have a character that really pisses somebody off. It's better to have a character people hate than one that people love. So you've got to get into the mind of people. And I'm waffling. So what was the question again?
I can't remember. But I was going to say that the old adage of writing what you know is what you're saying there, isn't it? I mean, we may not know what a zombie apocalypse would be like, or we may not know, what the end of the world or a science fiction universe would be like, but we do know what an annoying person is like, and we do know how to resolve conflicts with an annoying person, because we do that in our workplace, we do that in our lifetime. So it is all just writing what you know, but expanding on it, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. A zombie park, a pandemic, an asteroid, or whatever, all of that is a backdrop to a human story. Because if you don't have the human story, your zombies could be clowns with, sparklers coming out their arse. You still haven't got a story.
Yeah, I've been saying that for years, Devon. I mean, one of the things that people get caught up with, even authors who have been on this podcast, they get caught up in the situation as opposed to the story. The story is the people. It doesn't matter. The zombies are the background, aren't they? Let's be honest. I don't really care what the background is. I know we focus on the zombies, but I don't care if it's if it's on a different planet or it's set in medieval times. It doesn't bother me. So not long ago, you created for us for our charity anthology. You created your sort of very first zombie story, which is something that you'd never covered before. First of all, I wanted to say thank you for that. It was much appreciated, and we've raised lots of money for breast cancer care. Secondly, what was it like, your first sort of foray into zombies? I know you've been around the community for a while, so what was it like to partake in that?
It was fun. It was fun, and that story. I don't want to do a giveaway. It's a very short story. It's called Not the Main Character, because all these zombie stories focus on your former Navy SEALs and your people with a big bag of guns and all your preppers. It doesn't cover the fat person who works in an office and went camping once when they were in school and has no idea why without Mackies. So unless you've got like fast food and everything on your doorstep, or you can't hit the Just Eat app, these people are going to starve. So they are either already zombies or they're zombie food, but no one actually tells their story, their short 24-hour story, before they actually get got. Like that's what I went with. It is. Okay, I'm not one for writing shorts. So I struggle to keep a text message under 2,000 words.
Yes.
But it's really hard. I've got 3 characters in that, 3 actual people in that, and it's very hard to develop a character enough so that people even begin to believe in them inside of a short story. It's definitely an art.
Yeah, it is. And I have a lot of admiration for people that do it. I tend to, if I'm writing a short, I write in my head a novel and then I write a snapshot of it for the short story. So if someone could, I could tell you what happens for the week before and the week after that short story, because I know I've created the whole story in my head, as you probably do. The thing I liked about your story in Treasure Chest was exactly that, because I always wonder when I watch a movie or I read a book, and they, like you said, they bump into that side character who gets killed in 24 hours. I always wonder what happened to that guy. Where's he go? What did he do? How did he get there? And that's what your story did.
That actually got me from second best zombie film ever, Zombieland.
Yep.
Maybe popular, maybe not. The guy when he goes in, big horse, and he takes him out the banjo. It's great.
Yeah.
I want to know who that bloke was. I want to know how he ended up there.
Yeah.
Just wandering around, and that got into my head. It got me thinking. Like, no one tells those little snapshots, those little side stories.
Yeah.
You see someone in a funny outfit. I think Suzanne Sussex called it her forever outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So a zombie apocalypse coming. I need to be dressed up because I'm wearing this until I'm gone.
Yeah.
And you see people wearing something stupid, you think, what the hell were you doing when you got got?
Yeah. It's like, when you watch a Godzilla movie or one of those big disaster movies, and you just see this guy in the crowd of people just wearing something stupid, and he runs off and you never see him again. And you think, what happened there? I need to know.
And he took himself out and got stomped.
Yeah. So obviously we've been talking about it so far in the podcast, but you have a new book out. In fact, it's going to be a series, I believe, and it's got zombies, so it's obviously of interest to our listeners. Do we take some sort of credit for inspiring this newfound love of the genre? Tell us how the series came about, and what was your sort of creation ideal?
Yeah, I'm kind of wishing this was a video podcast then, so I could take my sponsorship and go, it was all because of Good Morning Zombie.
Yeah, just turn the sort of the prop round with a sticker on the side.
No, you got me into writing it for that short. Obviously, we've spoken before. I'm a big zombie fan. I've never gone into writing them much because I had other ideas on the go, and I kind of got to the point where I've accepted. All right, it's not real. Because you can't have animation without respiration. That's the whole thing I can't get past.
Yeah.
So I thought, what, sod it. You also can't have anything that happened in the Matrix, ignoring the wherever follow-ups, which was at the time one of the most mind-blowing films I've ever seen. And I didn't know what it was. I went to cinema, came out thinking, what the fuck just happened? Ruined it with sequels, but it's that kind of, it's not real, but it's great entertainment, and it's got through to me now that it doesn't have to be real. But to give it that sense of realism, I've put it back in time to where there was no Twitter, there was no places, there was no Channel 5.
Yeah.
Landlines still had long dials on, so 999 emergency was a piss take.
Yep.
So going back to a time where you couldn't get instant Twitter feed, and something's happening in London, so everyone just carries on with their lives for 4 days and then wonders why this zombie horde wanders through their town.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, it would happen because it's not like it would be all over the news. So that kind of got into my head. I am sort of a big zombie fan. I've been speaking recently with Michael Fuchs, the Risen series. I did a video podcast with him a while back. Keith C. Blackmore, and you know what? They done exactly the same thing where they created. I mean, Michael Fuchs has created an epic, absolutely huge, massive storyline. Of which the zombies have 3 roles, and it isn't about. Going back to it again, it isn't about the zombies. It's about the people around the zombies. Same with the Mountain Man series. It's about Gus and the captain. It's not about the zombies. So that's what I went with, and I don't know how it happened. It was probably due to insomnia and/or alcohol, and I thought, I'm going to set it in 1989, and it just went from there.
Okay, I have a question about 1989. When I wrote my short for Treasure Chest, it had a lot of inspiration from the 80s because it was kind of like it was a pastiche of Running Man, so it was kind of had all that.
Yeah.
So while I wrote it, I downloaded an 80s album and I listened to it over and over and over again while I wrote the short story. Did you do the same thing?
I have been in the background while I've been writing. I have had 80s medleys rocking on YouTube.
Me too.
And I've also had this thing where I sit down, like set myself up, got the coffee, and we're good. And what I've been doing is playing the opening credits for Stranger Things to get me really in the mindset.
Oh yeah.
That kind of whole that whole synth music really knuckles me down to it.
Yeah, I actually downloaded that album, the Stranger Things album, because I loved it. I completely get that. Whenever I write a story, I'm out sort of walking the dog first, and I kind of got the idea in my mind, and then I get the album to go with before I sit down and write it. It's crazy. Is there any other sort of preparation you do when you're writing? Do you sort of create your characters first, or is it just start tapping away on the keyboard?
I've tried to be structured. I even once tried this Scrivener thing, which people rave about, and I just want to throw the computer out the window when I see that. Yeah. I keep I'm fairly old-fashioned. I keep a document on my characters. If I'm really planning-minded, I'm orientated towards that day, I keep a story arc. I tend to just basically sit down, strap in, and see where it goes. Yep. When it comes to characters, I normally shout for my wife to give me, the one earlier, I sent a text message, and she was downstairs, like, give me a name for someone in their 30s who's a mechanic, who's a little bit bald. And she comes back saying, I think that's a Keith. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll go with a Keith.
Sounds like
so
Keith.
Basically she claims half the revenue for that.
But I mean, that's a skill, right? I mean, so some people are just geniuses at just coming up with names and characters and even background information to them, aren't they?
Give me 3 chapters, and you'll know that character from the little things that they do, the little mannerisms, their idiosyncrasies. But I can't for the life of me come up with their name.
So Bex and I have been lucky enough to read some of your new series. I haven't finished it because I've had a lot of other stuff to read, but I will finish it, I promise. But what we've read so far, we really like it. We both agreed it's going to be a great series. So without giving too much away, I know we've spoke about it a lot already, but without giving too much away, what can our listeners expect from the series, from what comes out this weekend, and what they've got to look forward to as the series goes forward?
Ooh. Zombies.
Yes, good.
Tanks,
that's a good start.
Perms, shoulder pads, Campari ski jacket, music references, film references, all those things that will throw you. Oh, God, I looked to twat back then.
Devon, so it's been a real pleasure having you on the podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sure our listeners will want to know where they can find you, where they can find out more about Toy Soldiers, the new series, and where they can find out about your books and stuff. So where's the best place for them to find out?
www.devoncford.com. Search for Devon C Ford on Facebook. Look for DCF_actual on Instagram. Basically, any kind of thing, just look for Devon and click on there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being on. It's been a real pleasure, and I hope the book's going to be a massive success. And once it's out there into the world, we'll get you back on and we'll talk about how well it's done.
Marvellous. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much, Devon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Well, Bex, that was... I know you wasn't present for that interview.
I wasn't.
Because Bex was dying of the zombie.
I was
she's
dying
back
of the zombie.
to record the end bit, which is cool.
Well, yes, I thought I'd crawl myself back from the living dead to record the end bit.
That's very kind of you. Have you listened to the interview now? Did you enjoy listening to it?
I've not listened to it yet.
Okay.
You've not sent me the audio of the interview, so I can't listen to it, but I will listen to it.
Well, we did obviously slag you off quite a bit. So...
Well, I wouldn't expect any less.
No, it was good. It was good fun. DCF has got a new... I'm not going to call him Devon C Ford anymore. I'm just going to call him DCF. I think that's it.
I like the kind of shortened initials. I think it's quite good.
I think it's better than
I kind
Devon.
of want a cool nickname like DCF.
Devon sounds a bit like he should be selling custard. So
just sounds like a town in the southwest.
I think. So I'm going to go with DCF. So DCF has a new book out. I know we've just discussed it in the whole interview. It's called Toy Soldiers. It's got zombies, it's got tanks. It's based in the 80s. What more can you possibly want?
I love 80s. I love tanks. I love zombies. I'm going to love the interview.
You're going to love the interview. You're going to love the book, I guarantee. So, yeah, that's cool. Everybody go buy that. The links will be in the description. Links will be on the blog post. I'll put the link on the Facebook page and the Facebook group, etc.
Etc.
What has GMZ been up to recently, Bex? Do you know?
Well as our normal shenanigans, we have also done a book launch for Mark Nye. You know Mark Nye?
Yes, Mark Nye, the zombie guy.
The zombie guy. So he said to us, GMZ, will you please come and do a book launch for me? I know you guys are awesome at book launches. You've done a few in the past and they're all really, really popular. So we thought, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
we'll do it.
So Mark is kind of, he done us a favour with the Cameron Romero interview, and he did a bit of research for us and sent us all over. So that was really useful from one of our listeners. He also supports us on Patreon, which is really useful. So he said to us, look, I've got a new book coming out. It's called Cow Made God? Yeah, Cow Made God and Other Abominations. I want to, have a book launch. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have lots of parties and stuff. So myself, Matt, Bex, Joe was recovering from surgery, so Joe wasn't there, but she was there in spirit, and Di was there, and we all got together and we had a big party, and that was a lot of fun. So if you have a chance, go check out that book on Amazon. So that's good. It's not zombies, but it might have zombies in it. I'm not sure. I haven't read it yet. I've downloaded it, but I haven't read it.
No, it's not released yet, is it? So
it was released today. I got the email today. Yeah. So I got the email. So I pre-ordered it and it came through today. So. If you have a chance, go listen to, download that. It's really good. There might be zombies in it. I'm not sure. What else we've been up to? GMZ Life. We've been pushing that this week. So
we have, and I'm really excited because people have been talking about it now.
Yeah,
because it's starting to get closer. People are starting to chat
and make plans and sort out where they want to go and stuff. And hotels.
See where they're going to sleep.
Yeah. So GMZ Live is going to be a live event. Bex and I are going to host it. We're going to have lots of authors there, including Matt Shaw, the horror author, including Matt Hickman, who's part of the GMZ team anyway, and lots of other authors. Who else is going to be there? I know Jess Ward is going to be there because she obviously lives nearby. And I can tell you now a little secret that no one else knows. There are going to be a few surprises on the night. So that's it. That's all I can say. But
are these surprises to me, or am I just
surprises to everybody? The only person who knows about the surprises will be me. So there will be surprises for both the hosts, the writers, and the audience.
I don't like this. I don't like surprises.
If you want tickets, they are available to buy. You can find them on our Facebook page. You can find them on our Facebook group. You can also ask some of the authors for free tickets. The authors all get free tickets each. Most of them have given them away. Oh, Claire C. Riley as well. Most of them have given them away via competitions and stuff. But I know some of them still have tickets left, so you can go bug some of those guys.
And the tickets are literally a couple of quid just to help us cover the room rate. But most of the room rate's probably going to be covered by the sheer amount of alcohol consumed.
Yeah, so we need alcoholics to attend, really, because that will help with the cost of the function.
I mean, I'm going to probably stump up half of the of the room rate in booze.
But it's going to be fun. We're going to have a room full of people like us, people who like zombie fiction, like zombie books, and we're going to get all down in a room, and we're going to talk about... we're going to have panels, so we're going to have panels of authors, and we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about the genre itself as a whole, but we're also going to talk about the functionality of how you write books and how you publish them, and self-publishing versus traditional publishing and things like that. And we're going to have a laugh while we're doing it as well. So
because what you've just said sounds really boring. We are going to have a laugh while we're doing it.
I'm going to say boring things, and you're going to make it entertaining.
I'm just going to say cunt all the time. Make it entertaining.
Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to get tickets, go do that. We've got a new book coming out. That will be out hopefully towards the end of April, early May. And that's called The Queuing Dead. That is our riff on The Walking Dead. Are you looking forward to that, Bex?
I'm so excited. I could not wait to read all the stories in that. I'm so excited.
It's a really, really... I've read a lot of the stories that have been submitted, including my own. And with the...
You've read your own?
Yeah, well, my story has also been submitted. But with the exclusion of mine, let's just forget about mine. Everybody else is really good. I might have to shove mine in at the end so no one reads it.
That's right what she said.
Yes. Classic. Works for everything, that joke. If you just bring that joke on a piece of paper with you when we do GMZ Live, and
everything you say, I'll just say, that's what she said.
Yeah, and every time I'm dying on my arse because I'm saying something boring, you can just hold up a sign that says, that's what she said.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work really well.
That'll work really well. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think we've got any other GMZ news. Obviously, if you want to support us on Patreon, you can do so. You get a mug. I sent out the mugs today, this week, actually. Everybody got their mugs. Everybody supported us on Patreon.
Apart from Suzanne, whose mug got broken in the post because Royal Mail are dicks.
Well, yeah, there is that. I will get another one out to Suzanne. I will replace her mug. I do have a handful of mugs here, so if the next person...
How many mugs can you fit in a handful? I can probably only fit one in.
Oh, you can hang one on each finger. They got little handles. Yeah. Think about it. Come on.
Think about it.
Yeah. So yeah, you can get 5 on a hand, is what I'm saying. If you got 5 fingers. If if you have less fingers, then less. So Mickey Mouse can only get 3.
Oh, poor Mickey.
Yeah, but regular mice can't hold any. So there you go.
No, it can't.
So
too heavy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you join Patreon this week, you'll get a mug sent out to you ASAP. Everybody else may have to wait if in a couple of weeks or something. But that's it, really. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you to Bex for being my wonderful, not co-host, my wonderful host friend, hostess, joint host.
I can't even pretend that I'm even bothered about what you're calling me because I am dying.
Oh yeah, that's true. You're dying of zombie. I could say anything. Right, yeah, see you later. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.